And we are live. So I'm Dale and this is Wendy. And our podcast and video series is called the Soul Writers Lounge. And guess what we talk about? We talk about journaling, writing, and healing. So without further ado, who am I? So I'm Dale. You already know that. You see my name on the screen. So I am the co-founder of the Healing Book Project. I'm the author of Writing to Heal, and very, very excitedly, I am soon to be the author. Well, actually, soon to be the author of two books, because our first book for the Healing Book Project is about to come out. But I'm also writing a book on how to write a healing memoir. And I have a mission, and my mission is to inspire women to heal their stories, find their voice, and speak their truth through the written word. So that's all about writing healing memoirs, building an amazing brand, and creating an impact. So, Wendy, what are you? Who are you? And where do you come from? That sounds a bit like Blind Date.
I'm the other half. I'm the other half. Yes, I guess you could call me the mini me. The mini me, also co-founder of the Healing Book Projects and author of the book Be More Wolf. And my mission is to help people, well, to help women particularly, to heal and recover from deep emotional scars so they can break the cycle of trauma and live life on their terms. So, the Healing Book Project is to help female entrepreneurs and leaders with their inspirational message to make an impact and become more visible so they can reach a wider audience and create more clients, be heard in an overcrowded marketplace, because we all know how crazy it is right now.
It is, it is. And I think what I love about the Healing Book Project is those female entrepreneurs and leaders, they get to create and write, create and publish a co-authored, and I'm going to call it an absolutely brilliant personal development book, because I know that our first book is about to come out that is going to absolutely change people's lives. It's going to create an amazing impact, but also it's about the thing that is very passionate to you and I is about creating community with collaborative leaders. So we all work together and support each other, not only in creating these best-selling books, but enabling people to elevate their authority and credibility and do it in a short space of time. So, I think anybody listening and watching this will get a real sense of our passion and what we are here on earth to do. And actually that's going to link to some part of what we're doing today. So today is Wendy and I have got 6 reasons to write a personal development co-authored book. And we've chosen 3 reasons each. So 3 reasons that very much are about our missions and the things that we are expert in. So I'm going to go first. Should I go first? I'm going to go first. So
Yeah, you go first.
I can go first. Okay. So, and then I can get back to my very, very thick green smoothie that I made this morning in an attempt to stay healthy. So I touched on this earlier. We both have very, very strong missions in life. And I think the first reason to write anything co-authored or your own whole book is really, it's about knowing your why. But we also talked about knowing your why and exploring and really getting connected to it in a safe community. The Healing Book Project for us and any work we do is about creating this safe container. So we have a community of people who are going to listen and they're going to ask good questions and they're going to really help you get very clear on what your why is. So your why is your purpose. It's the foundation of what you stand for, your values, and the thing that you want to take out into the world. And if you've got a journal handy, I just want to ask you, what is your why? And if you're not clear, and you'll know. I mean, I bet you any money you've got something stirring inside that says, I want to get that. I want to go and change the world. I want to leave a legacy. And my why, and it's like it becomes fuzzy. So when you're in a safe community, you get clarity. So when you write, you get clarity. When in that community, you get clarity because people are helping you. And when you share your why, what happens? You get clarity. And when you reflect on that and really get connected to it, yeah, you've got it, you get clarity. So knowing your why, as for me, you've got to start there. Why am I doing this? Why do I do anything? So now that we've got the why out the way, and I do encourage you to just scribble and scribble and scribble and really think about how your why is going to help you really get connected into who you are and get out there and leave that legacy. So Wendy, what's your first one?
Yeah, I love this because we're so different to one another. So mine is about, my first one is about time. A really good reason why you want to write a personal development book, which is with a group of co-authors, is the amount of time it takes when you go it alone. So for me, it took me 8 months to write my first book. It was hard work. It was painful at times. I had to really push through any level of resistance. And what happened when I wrote my book is I found myself, just imagine that you've got a candle and it's burning bright and you've got the wax that trickles down. What would happen for me is I'd get stuck in that wax, and where I actually needed to be was in the flame. So I didn't have anybody to say, right, Wendy, this is what you need to focus in on to be able to move past that piece of resistance. So it took me an incredible amount of time to write my first book. Now, obviously, if you are writing a co-authored book, you're just writing a chapter. You have a very clear focus, you have a very clear beginning, a middle, and an end, and you have people to support you on that journey. So rather than writing, I think I wrote 50,000 words, maybe just under, you write between 3,000 and 5,000. There's a big difference between writing a whole book by yourself and going it alone, or actually working with somebody who gives you the step-by-step process that you need to go to write an extraordinary good chapter. So time is my absolutely hands down first one.
Yeah, and actually, if we come back to time and we think of project management, it's like when you do a co-authored book, you can't go shilly-shally, I've got 8 months to do it. It's like you need to write in this time frame, you need to edit in this time frame, and then we've got to do this, this, and this. But it's something I always say to people when I'm coaching them is you've got to get into the habit of making time to write. And I know that you did. I know that you did, and I know that it was hard for you. So yeah, that's a fantastic one. So my one is feeling safe to explore your story. So when you're in a group of people who have gone through some kind of trauma and they're all coming together to write their chapter, to write their story, you need to have a safe place to explore it. Because what happens is when you start exploring your story and you start writing it, and I know this happens for me every single time I write stuff about the traumas, different traumas I've been through, is you can go back into that story. And if you've got a community of people who are going, you know, I'm going to hold you in a safe space, then you know that it's okay to do it. And you also know it's okay to have a little cry and it's okay to feel emotional. But you've got people who are going, come on, I've got your back and we're going to do this together. So if we then expand that out into the business benefits, so, you know, you're in this safe space and you've had this opportunity to explore your story. When you go out into the business world, stories connect to people and people connect to people that they know, like, and trust. And your story, because you've gone through this process, you know, you've had this safe space to discover it, you'll be able to tell it. And they're going to want to know when they, you know, I have no idea what it is you would want to write about, but obviously because this is, you know, the stuff we do is about healing, is then people will know that you're a safe person to work with. They are going to be able to trust their story, their emotions, their life, their whatever you want to call it, with you. So also when you've had that safety to explore your story and you get that clarity, you will feel safer. So less, I mean, I don't know that the vulnerability ever goes away, but you'll feel safer to get out there and to share it because you've got that purpose, you've got that why. So for me, it's safe container to share it, and then feeling safe to get out there and create your mission, your legacy, the thing that you absolutely have come here to do. So Wendy, over to you.
Yeah, I love that, Dale. And I was just, as you were talking, I was thinking about, you know, the current project of authors that we have that we're working with at the moment. And it always happens, but one particular person, something came up because of writing her story, which is often the case, not just from her own experience, but other people interfering with the story as well. And it's interesting that if I hadn't, or if you hadn't gone through those experiences ourselves and learnt to manage them and deal with them appropriately, then we wouldn't be able to hold that safe space for other people writing their stories. So it just reminded me of that, because now she can hold that space because she's worked through it. So she's, you know, she's not only has she written the book, but she's elevated her standing as a coach, as a therapist, as a mentor. She's going to be able to work at a much deeper level with her clients because she's now worked through it herself. So as you were talking, it just reminded me of that. It's like another benefit of writing a healing book is that because you go through the journey, you also are able to expand and receive more.
And she, if she is listening to this, my goodness me, what an amazing woman. Honestly, I mean, I've got all this stuff coming up. I am so proud of her. And you know, it's like, you know, I always do this thing like, thank you, Wembley. I could see her on a stage going, thank you, Wembley, because she is amazing. She's done such a great job. And wow, I mean, I feel so honored. Anyway, online marketing.
I'm getting all emotional. Stop it.
You're not the only one. I'm like, how can I keep talking when all this stuff is coming up?
Okay, going to business now, because as we say, Dale's the heart and I'm a bit more business. Well, you are businessy, but I'm like, heart? What's that? No, not really. So number 4 for me is about online marketing, because let's be honest here, a lot of women struggle with online marketing. It doesn't come natural to them. They don't like talking about themselves. They don't like talking about their achievements. They just do not like selling themselves. Unfortunately, if you do not know how to sell yourself in business, you're going to have no business. So the beautiful thing about doing a collaborative project like this, especially within the Healing Book Project, this is unique to us, is that you all come together and market and you support one another. So we provide the framework, we provide the content, and you have a very clear roadmap of how to market. But not only that, we are a community. So our community is always growing. And what we're doing is we're building a community of readers who are prepared to read parts of the book and then provide Amazon reviews. So it's got a lot of little nuts and bolts to it, but we manage that, so you don't have to worry about it. But it's that whole collaborative piece around marketing, which you will never be able to get exposure in the same way, because we come together and we work together as a team. So online marketing for me is what probably one of the best things, besides the personal development and the journey that the authors go on.
It's really interesting. When, as you were talking, I was transported back 30 something years, probably a bit more, to when I did my MBA, and I passed this MBA, and the only bit of marketing I did was I wrote MBA on my business card. And I was sitting here thinking, and then, okay, right back then in the dark ages, I don't think we even had internet. Actually, we didn't. Not when I have no idea. It's such a long time ago. And I was sitting here thinking, where was Wendy when I passed my MBA and needed somebody to cheer me on and do more than write MBA on my business card? I mean, what am I like? And actually, as you're talking, I am. Oh my God, I'm so glad that you are here, because like you say, I'm the emotional heart, coachy, come in and let me hold you close person. And you're here, supporting me and everybody else. And I'm like, thank God for that. Thank God someone's going to make me get out there and do that thing with my voice. I mean, I do it, but I know I'm going to learn. I am learning so much from you. So it always amuses me. It's like when you say things, I go, oh, no, I don't want to do that. And it's like, it's like I can see Wendy with her whipping me and go, get out of your comfort zone, girl, and get on with it. So we're going to come back to my next point, which is about discovering your voice, which actually links very much to what you said, because when you're in a safe community and you're sharing with others, these people are holding you and your story, and it's easier then to express yourself, because you can practice, you can test stuff out, and you can discover what your voice is. So right at this moment, you might think, well, I know what my voice is, I know how I want to get that out there, but also what you discover, because you're in a safe space, you know what your truth is. So you can come into this going, yeah, I know who I am. I know what my voice is. I know what my story is. I know what my truth is. But when you start to write and everything comes out, actually you discover different things. And what I've noticed is, as I'm going through and helping people take their raw story and craft it into something that makes an emotional connection, people are actually discovering what their truth is. And when we get out into the business world, people don't want people who go, look at me, I've done this. What they want is a really authentic voice. They want to connect to that voice. When you hear a voice, you hear tone, there's a modality to it. You get a sense of who that person is. So in the written word, people are going to get a sense of your voice. They're going to get a sense of their truth. And in terms of the project, you've got a team of people helping you get out there. So when you feel confident, you are going to share your truth, and I'm going to say from your heart, and you're going to really ground and anchor it and get it out there. But what is, not only have you got us two, but you've got other people. We've got your back, and we're supporting you, and we're helping you. For me, it feels like standing in your power, and we're back on that stage in Wembley and really showing people who we are. We are those rock stars. So for me, it's all about getting that voice out and letting people really know who you are, but having a team behind, like having, if we talk about being a rock star, we got our team behind us, setting everything up on the stage, and all we've got to go do is walk out and go, I'm going to do Thank You Wembley again. Thank you, Wembley. I'm going to get on that blinking stage in Wembley one day and do that. Anyway, back to you.
Yeah, so number 6, I have a bit more businessy. It is about being an expert. If you are not seen as an expert in this day and age, there's going to be serious problems that show up in your business. So we know, as we said earlier on, that the market is absolutely saturated with people who are okay, who are average, but pretty vanilla. They don't really stand out. They're all doing the same thing. This makes it really, really hard work to attract clients, because they don't see you as an expert. They see you more as a generalist, which means also that it's going to be really hard work for you to be able to enroll people consistently. It's going to be really hard work for you to put your prices up. because you're just not seen as an expert. One of the beautiful things about writing a co-authored book is it changes that position overnight. You with us within 3 months you will have written and published and become an Amazon #1 bestseller. That then changes people's perception of your level of credibility, because not only do you have, not only are you establishing Amazon, but you also have the team of people who are endorsing you within the book. So it's another way to elevate your expertise very quickly, is by having that live endorsement of other people that are supporting you, and you're leaning on one another's credibility rather than you going it alone. So expertise is another one of my favorites. Plus, it also puts you in just 2% of a group of people that actually write and publish a book. 2%. So that already makes you stand out against your competitors. It already means that when it comes time for, PR, for getting on podcasts, for getting articles in papers, it is much easier to do because you are already established as an expert. You have stepped forward and you are showing your expertise, which is exactly what people want. They do not want vanilla. They do not want mediocre. They want people who will put their hands up and go, this is what I believe in. This is what I know works. I'm going to give you my best stuff. Let's go. So expertise, elevating your expertise and your authority is absolutely what a co-authored book will do.
Oh, I love that. I've got goosebumps. Okay, so what next, Wendy? What next?
So if you're interested, well, actually, no, I'm not going to do that now. Let's talk about our next 2 books that we've got. Oh, actually, the first one. We are just in the process of launching our first book, and then we've already got an outline of our next 2 books. So, Rebirth
is the first one.
Rebirth, fantastic. Oh, it's a shame I should have got a slide.
I tell you what, we literally, so everyone who's listening to this, we literally brainstormed these this morning because yesterday we got the book cover for the first book. So the first book's called Rebirth, and the theme on that is about the Phoenix Rising. So the next book, we decided that we would call it Ignite. And that's the Power of the Wolf. So you will excuse us because we're sitting there going, we've just literally done that. And then we've come on and done this. It's like, what are those books called? So we've got Ignite, which is the Power of the Wolf. And then we've got Rise, which is Lead the Evolution. So when Wendy, as you know, has written a book called Be More Wolf. And we'll explain on another podcast when we're actually much more with it, how you utilize the power of the wolf. So all animals, in the first book, we've talked about the phoenix rising from the ashes of the trauma, and using those words to beautifully let go of the past and rise into rebirth. So the idea around Ignite is you're going to use the power of the wolf to be able to change that story and step into that power and get out and share your story in quite an amazing way. And then with Rise and Lead the Evolution, for me, evolution is what I believe we're doing. We're slowly changing the world. Now, what's going on at the moment is there's lots of revolutions, there's lots of wars, and there's lots of battles, and it's fast, it's furious, and it's uncomfortable. And I don't believe that women lead that way. I believe women lead really powerfully through that story that is involved, and when they're ready to lead, they just get out there, and it's about how do we change. It could be the community, it could be your home, it could be the whole blinking world, but it's about how do we create evolutions that come from a great place, not from war, not from tragedy, not from maiming and killing people, but come from a place where we know we're going to make lasting change. So that's completely off the top of my head and off the cuff, and I hope that's what I was meant to say, but who knows?
I think that sums it up quite nicely, actually, because
you.
there's a progression. There's a nice progression in the books.
Yes.
In the books.
Yeah.
Which is what we want. We want to be able to take people on a journey so they can learn and discover for themselves. And ultimately, you know, we want the books to have impact for people to be able to do the exercises, take them on board and change. That's ultimately, if we can't do that in our books, then we're not doing a very good job.
No, exactly.
Be fired.
So who have I got in my head now that says you're fired? Lord Sugar. Okay,
yeah,
well,
Lord Sugar.
He's not our target audience. Okay, guys. So I really, really hope that you've enjoyed listening to us and that tiny little impromptu bit at the end. We have created an hour-long masterclass. We will post the link to that underneath all of these videos. If you are listening on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and also please give us a thumbs up and let us know what you think, what your ideas are. If you want to find us, you'll find us not only in the Healing Book Project, but we hang out in the Soul Writers Lounge. And if you listen to podcasts, you'll find us on Anchor FM. And that just leads me to say thank you, Wembley.
Ta-ra!
See you soon. Bye-bye.